All right, we are back on Friday, April the 8th.
It's
Another
Thursday.
Thursday, April the 8th. I'm so used to saying Friday. I am. It's just automatic. Thursday, yeah. We're with you on a Thursday, April the 8th. Because Friday we are hosting the National JUCO
Yep.
Region 6 tournament. So, yes, that starts tomorrow and runs through Saturday here. But anyway, we're back at you with a live edition of our Talking with Friends podcast. As always, I'm Sports Information Director Levi Converse, and I'm joined by my assistant SID, Morgan Raspberry. So, we got an action-packed edition for you. Our two-time Defensive Player of the Week, Eric Carter, will be with us momentarily. Him and the Soccer Falcons have been on quite a roll lately, and they are getting ready to open the KCAC tournament Saturday night at 7 p.m. That match is going to be at Stryker Complex. We're hosting our annual Friends Spring Open outdoor track meet here on Saturday as well. So that match is going to be taking place at Stryker. And as we mentioned, we got the National JUCO tournament coming up tomorrow and Saturday. So a really busy week. Softball senior day on Saturday as well at 1 o'clock. Or actually at noon. That game got moved to noon as noted on our schedule. Against Sterling College on Saturday at Two Rivers Youth Complex. So we just got a lot going on again. This might be the last, knock on wood, if we can, the last really, really busy weekend that we're going to have here. I mean, there's going to be busy weekends still to come, but where we got 4 and 5 things going on, this is kind of wrapping up with this weekend. So, but we're gearing up towards a pretty fun one at that. We'll see how everything goes. But and baseball's on the road at Avila for a weekend series, so they are out of town in Kansas City playing Avila. So a lot going on here as we kind of wind down the stretch this semester in the spring season. So yeah, we were at the football press box today. Our second straight week we've been up here. Nice view. Our track student athletes are.
This is our third week here.
Busy, warm, busy getting ready. Is our third week here already?
It's our third week.
Gone that fast? Oh, no. Doesn't seem like it, no. But doesn't seem like it. We've been in the Garvey classroom most of the year, and now we're up here. So doesn't seam like it, but yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah.
I should remember that with walking the steps each time. That's not something you easily forget. But yeah, we're got a lot going on. Again, Eric Carter will be joining us momentarily. But I think now's a good time to dive into kind of a quick March Madness review. Baylor won the national championship Monday night, 86-70, just really dominating Gonzaga in a battle of what many felt like was the top two teams in the country all season long, and a game that I got exactly right on my bracket. Now, I didn't have a perfect bracket by any stretch of the imagination, but I did get the national championship matchup right. I got the national champion right. So that's the first time that's happened in, well, maybe ever. I don't remember it ever happening, so maybe it's the first time I've ever got both of that right, but I just felt like all year long Baylor and Gonzaga had kind of separated themselves from the field, and Gonzaga come into the game undefeated, looking to become the first team since 1976 to finish an undefeated season. That Indiana was the one that done that last under head coach Bobby Knight, very polarizing head coach to say the least. But that was one of their 3 national championships. With Bobby Knight in 1976, the last team that could do a perfect season. And Gonzaga was trying to be the next one. And Baylor just pretty well dominated from start to finish. Just with the first 9 points of the game, led 11-1. Really led by double figures most of the way. There was a stretch where Gonzaga came back, cut it to 10 at halftime. Baylor led by as many as 19 in the first half. And then Gonzaga came within single digits a time or two in the second half, but it was always short-lived. Baylor always had an answer. And then pulled away for the big win. And I picked Baylor because I felt like watching both teams this year, when you compared them side by side, Baylor was just a little bit better team, a little more physical, long defenders, the best three-point shooting team in the country. And I felt like Baylor, if they were right, if they were 100%, was the best team in the country. And that was proven right. And that's not a knock on Gonzaga at all. A lot of talk has been going on since then, obviously, and then the narratives change and things. Well, was Gonzaga overrated? Or, I don't believe that. I think Baylor was a better team in a better conference.
I think they got kind of tripped up against UCLA and wasn't expecting as big of a fight from UCLA. And I think that, sure, they still won it, but I think that kind of had a little bit of, oh, crap, maybe we're not as good as we thought we were, because, I mean, they've had some pretty tough matches, don't get me wrong, but do you kind of know what I mean? It's like they didn't expect somebody that they thought was not going to be able to play at their level ended up playing at their level almost better.
Yeah, I think it definitely, the way I seen it was, I think it definitely knocked off some of their swagger.
Yeah.
I think they lost a little bit of their swagger because they came in, they were head and shoulders above everybody else they had played thus far in the tournament, and really the entire regular season.
Yeah.
I think they only had one team all year long even come within single digits, and that was West Virginia, also the Big 12, who plays a similar style to Baylor, although Baylor is a better team, but similar defensive type style, and with shooting around the perimeter. And I think UCLA definitely knocked some of the luster off Gonzaga, maybe made them doubt themselves a little bit. And sometimes you see it go both ways. You see a great team face a tough challenge for once, for the first time, and if they survive it, sometimes that sets them on to just conquer the field again. That they survive it, so then they're free and then they win big again. That's not what happened this time, though. Gonzaga, I think,
it seemed like they just
it was tough on them.
Lost a little bit of confidence, I believe, in that, because, I mean, Baylor had this from the get-go, and you could tell from how, Gonzaga was playing. Yes, they ended up coming back, but you could tell that Baylor just had dominance over this game in general. They had control over the game the most, if not the whole entire game.
Yeah, from start to finish, Baylor was a superior team on both ends of the floor, and that was evident. And it was Gonzaga, it was a wild finish for them to get there. You're right. I mean, they took a buzzer-beating three-pointer from Jalen Suggs from about half court, close to half court, at the end of the first overtime period. It looked like it was going to go to another extra session, and Jalen Suggs ended that. But yeah, I think UCLA had a great run, and I think they definitely kind of showed some vulnerability from Gonzaga that we've not seen before, and I think maybe even in their own minds, it showed some vulnerability, and then Baylor just really come in and took advantage of it, and being as good as they are, they just capitalized on it.
Yeah. And I think Baylor definitely saw those disadvantages happening in UCLA, and then in their minds they're thinking, oh, if UCLA can do it, no hate against UCLA, they did amazing, but they're in their mind they're thinking, oh, they can do it, oh, we can capitalize on this and maybe make it even better, and I feel like that's definitely what this Baylor team did.
That's a good point. Because it not only can have a little bit of doubt, a little bit of self-reflection for your own team, but it can also come into the opposing team as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Gonzaga, they are beatable. They are beatable.
It's like, haha, we finally see officially your weakness. I mean, they've shown it before, but I feel like they showed the most vulnerability throughout the whole entire season in the UCLA game than any other game that they've probably played this whole entire season. Granted, I've never kept up with Gonzaga, so I have no idea personally, but for sure within this March Madness tournament, that seems like the most vulnerability they had given up and still won throughout the whole entire tournament was against UCLA, which you would kind of see that in the Final Four, seeing more vulnerability from teams. But you know what? And then Baylor just came out and rocked it against Houston, which was kind of cool to see, not going to lie. That was kind of fun. But
yeah, they were dominant in that game too.
Oh yeah. I think that it almost seemed like they were trying to prove a point, we can keep up with Gonzaga, we're not worried about it. And then all of a sudden, here you have basically a way lower ranked team coming in who's had amazing this whole entire tournament, but also they were the lesser of the two people. They were the lesser of the two teams. They really were, at least according to rankings and statistics, they were. But and then you see that and you start to build the more confidence in it, because it's like, you almost lost to a lesser team. Now you really are going to lose to a better team.
Yeah.
And
that's exactly the way it played out.
Yeah.
Too. Baylor they were dominant, and as you said against Houston, that's kind of really the first game that I seen. Maybe against Arkansas in the Elite Eight a little bit too, and even the second half against Villanova. But they were down Villanova. They were down to Villanova at halftime of the Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
Trailed a lot of the game and had to come back and win in the second half. And then they looked pretty good against Arkansas. Arkansas came back and cut the 4 in the second half. Then they won a big run and put that away. So really, the game against Houston, the Final Four, is the first game I saw since Baylor came back from their COVID pause, where I said, okay, they look exactly like they were before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you saw a lot of flashes just to get there, but that was the first game I'd seen where, okay, they are 100% back. And they just kept right on rolling against Gonzaga. No doubt about it. So our MLB has opened up as well. And Morgan, your Astros are right now, and I've watched some of their games this year. Right now, they look like the best team in baseball.
I know.
They look like the best team in the majors right now.
It's still early. Let's not put that on them. Because
It
it's
is,
still early.
but man, they look really, really good.
Yeah.
They are mashing the baseball. They swept Oakland in a 4-game series, and they lost the first game against the Angels, but they rebounded and won last night.
Yep.
And so they're rolling right now.
Oh yeah.
They look like the team in the playoffs last year. Not the team in the regular season, the team in the playoffs last year that almost made the World Series. That's what they look like now.
Yeah.
So they look like they put that season behind them and just kind of picked up and they left off in the playoffs.
I think they finally have kind of this understanding. I mean, it's definitely still out there. People are still going to hate them for what happened back in 2018. I believe that was 2018, right?
Yes.
2018.
Yeah, that's
people
still there.
People are going to give them hate for it. However, I feel like people are starting to move on from that. And they're moving on from it. And they're trying to show that they're moving on from it. So they're trying to just put everything behind them and saying, you know what, let's just go out here and do it.
Yeah, well, they're back to killing the baseball now.
Yep.
I can tell you that. They're as good as that. So far, it's early. But they are back to killing the baseball just like they did before. So, as if, pre everything that happened. All right, we are now joined by our defensive standout, Eric Carter. Eric is a member of our men's soccer team, and they are on quite a roll right now. Eric, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, so as we kind of head into postseason play, I kind of like getting everybody's perspectives on how this season's played out. So what's it been like for you, getting here to this point with all the adjustments and the different protocols? Just a strange year, but now we're in postseason play. So what's the season kind of been like for you?
At the beginning of the season, it was kind of rough. Half of our team left because, basically half of our team was seniors and stuff.
Yep.
And we had a lot of new people, and so we had to just gel together. So, the first 3 games, we was going through the motion. We lost the 2 games, but we kept going, got our chemistry up, and we just finding the grooves, and so we're in good spirits for the KCAC tournament.
Yeah, sounds good. You mentioned those first 3 games. That's the way I seen it too. From watching it, is you guys kind of just taking your time to get gelled a little bit. And you wasn't the team then that you are now because you won 11 of your last 13 games, and that includes the tie to Newman. So you're playing as well as really anyone in the conference. And for yourself, you're a 2-time KCAC Defensive Player of the Week this year. So just kind of give us a glimpse into your mindset, night in and night out. Is there an extra level of pride that you take as a defender to kind of stifle the offensive game plan?
I mean, this is how I feel. Every time when I step on the field, I feel like that I'm going to be, I need to do what I have to do, and I'm going to do great at, what I got to lock up people. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I just feel like I'm the best player on the field, but that's my mentality. But I feel like the Defensive Player of the Week award, for me, I feel like it's a team award, because if it wasn't from a back line, I wouldn't have won that. If it wasn't for the whole team just corresponding together and defending as a group, I wouldn't have got that. So I see that as a team award.
Yeah, for sure. And there was a play in the second half of our last home match against Newman. I just want to get your quick take on. It was 1-1, and they have a breakaway coming, and it looks like they're going to either score or they're going to get a really good shot on goal. It's going to be hard to stop. You come in out of nowhere in there and you cut them off. And I mean, where does the play? How quick does that play like that develop? Because you know what play I'm talking about. But how quick does it take for that to develop in your mind to just come that quick? I mean, you're really fast, but how long does it take to process a play like that?
Oh, it's just an instant. Because if I see the back line being broken and someone going on a fast break, I just feel like since I'm the last defender, I just got to go give them all, see if I get there first.
Yeah, so, I mean, we talked about how much of a road you've been on. Winning 11 of 13 matches, that includes a tie with Newton. You've only lost once since the first of the season. What's the vibe with the team? How do you keep that momentum going in the Saturday night's KCAC Conference quarterfinal match with Southwestern?
It's all about basically practicing, and we usually be having like get-togethers, like we go to bowling alleys and stuff, just bring the chemistry up, and we like talk to each other a lot because usually we don't be seeing each other a lot during school. It's just usually practice. So during practice time, we have fun, have a good time, but serious training. But then we go out and hang out together, so we just bond together.
That sounds good. That sounds like fun, winning on and off the pitch, right?
Yes,
So why not? Well, with the announcement earlier this week that Assistant Coach Bryan Perez is going to be taking over as head coach heading into next season after this year, obviously, what was your reaction to the news, and how do you feel about Coach Perez kind of carrying on and building what current head coach Joe Dencheco has established here?
I feel like Coach Bryan's gonna carry that legacy on. He's gonna improve the team and bring a lot of new people in, and I feel like it's the right job for Bryan. Like, I feel like he deserved the head coach spot, and I'm happy for him. And like he helped me a lot last year, being a freshman and like starting a lot, like don't have that much experience on like the collegiate field, and he helped me a lot with that. So I think. Yeah,
for sure, and the success that you guys have had here this year and last year. Winning the KCAC tournament, making the NEI tournament. I say last year, it feels like 2 years ago, everything that's been going on, but it really was last year. And how that kind of success, that was head coach Joe Dencheco's first year, and now his second year is kind of built on. You guys are continuing to improve and building that. So I think anything that carries that on is a positive because you guys the last 2 years have been on quite a roll and just continue to climb the KCAC. So, for you, what was the recruiting pitch like? Let's start kind of going back to when you first come here. What was the recruiting pitch like, and what was a big factor for your decision to come here to Friends?
My big factor was before Coach Joe Dencheco, the coach, before he was the head coach here, he was the assistant coach at USF.
Yep.
And I went to a USF camp, and he had seen me play, and he had after the camp he had talked to me, and like. He was just asking for my grades and all that, and so I gave him my like email information and stuff. Well, I guess that didn't work out with USF, but then he like gave me a call and told me that like he's the head coach at Friends, and like he would like want me to play for his team, and I was like, okay, I should go out there. It.
That's good. That's good insight. That's awesome. Yeah, he had some D1 experience at UCF, as you mentioned. He was at Florida Gulf Coast as well.
Yeah, Florida Gulf.
So that's really good information on kind of what it was like and what was key in coming here. Morgan, you got some fun stuff for us? No, a little bit? No.
Yeah, why does the team call you Smokey?
She's been waiting on that one. From when I first said I was going to have you as a guest, she was waiting on that one.
Okay, so back in the day, it was like when I was like 8 or 7, it was a family nickname, but basically, when I was little, I never put on lotion, so I was always like ashy and stuff. So my auntie started calling me Smokey, and so then like my friends came over, and then they started hearing that, and then like everyone's just been calling me Smokey from then.
Wow,
that's good information. See, we'd have never guessed that, because my guess my guess would have been, if I had to guess, was you're so fast, you're just smoking everybody. So I would have just thought, okay, it's something like that, no big deal. That's good though. That's good insight. That's good information here.
I honestly had no idea. That's why I was very curious about it.
That's what we do here on our Talking with Friends podcast. We find out information, we dig deep, and we get the good stuff.
I was embarrassed with that nickname, but then like I just got used to it.
It fits you though, right?
Yeah, it does.
Because that's what I was thinking. I thought it'd be something kind of mundane, and that'd have been fine. But I mean, it fits you though, really. I mean, the way you play.
So what made you want to start soccer? Because, I don't know. I mean, I guess because people always associate me as a basketball player, and I'm too mean to play basketball, so that's why I never play it. But, so I was just wondering, like, did you play anything else and just end up falling in love with soccer, or?
Yeah, before I was playing soccer, I was playing basketball. Mm-hmm. I really love basketball. I still love basketball to this day, but it was just one day in 5th grade where like I seen my friends playing soccer, and I decided to go like play with them, and I just fell in love with the game, and so I just started playing from then, and that started to be my favorite sport.
I think it's a pretty good career choice so far. I mean, 2 years in your career, I mean, you're just a sophomore, and You've already won 2 Defensive Player of the Week. You're an all-conference caliber player, and I think that's going pretty well for you so far. And we got a lot more to come, hopefully. So.
And then, okay, so I know that you are only a sophomore. You still got 2 more years, but do you have any plans for your future, what you kind of want to do with your time here at Friends and then potentially beyond Friends?
I feel like that.
Sorry, I know, complicated question, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to graduate and I still don't know exactly what I'm doing, right?
Yeah, so that's not a bad answer to say you're kind of planning on it, because my plans changed too in college.
I mean, here's my main goal. What I really want to do is since I'm getting older, I sense that I'm getting older, and I just don't want to I feel like I need to be playing professional soon, because there's a lot of people managers and coaches picking younger players over the older players. So I just feel like my time's coming up, so I just got to keep training, and my main goal is to play soccer professionally, and I hope that will happen.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's really great. Okay, and then finally, because I just like to personally ask this question, because I don't even know why I chose to come here over half the time. Why did you choose to come to Friends?
Main reason because of Coach Dincheco, but really I had some offers at some D1 schools, but it was just during my senior year, at the end, I was going through some things with families, loss of a family member. So yeah, my grades went downhill. So the offers kind of backed away. They backed away from me, and so basically, Coach gave me this option. And I was all for it.
Well, it's worked out. We're the benefit of it. We talk about 2-time KCAC Defensive Player of the Week, and really that we kind of understate that, because it's and for someone who nominates up for our awards, it's hard for a non-goalkeeper to win Defensive Player of the Week, because you have a goalkeeper has stats that you can promote, and I know a lot of it's a defense, but still you have hardcore numbers you can show. You don't have that with a defender, but you won it twice, and each time I've nominated you, I thought you were going to win it just because I won it. And I'll give Coach Dincheco some credit for this, because he did a good job of describing kind of the specific reasons behind it. But it was awesome though. I felt confident you were going to win both times. That's how good you were playing. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is Eric Carter. He will be in action Saturday night at Stryker Complex. The game is going to be at Stryker. 7 p.m. kickoff versus Southwestern. So I will be there, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have complete coverage of it. KCAC postseason starts Saturday night. Eric, thanks for joining us. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So the Falcons will be in action Saturday night, 7 p.m. Stryker Complex versus Southwestern. They won 3-1 in the matchup early this year. So they're going to look to duplicate that and move on to the semifinals and see what they got.
Cool. Sorry, I don't know anything about soccer, so this is
Yeah, you know a lot about soccer because you've been here with me the whole time.
I don't know anything about soccer.
Yeah.
I know you kicked the ball into the goal. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, it's going to set up.
That's literally it.
If the seeds hold, the Falcons, if they take care of it Saturday night, the seeds hold, they would face top-seeded Oklahoma Wesleyan in the semifinals on next week. So it was Oklahoma Wesleyan that the Falcons beat last year in the KCAC championship game.
I want to say that's always a big rival for our soccer team. For some reason, it's always Oakwoo. It's always Oklahoma Wesleyan that we always end up seeing in the championship, or that we see sometime later on. And once they'll beat us, and then the next time we'll beat them, and vice versa. And I want to say that's an ongoing rivalry ever since I've been here.
Yeah, it really is. I remember my first year here, and this is just keeping with the Oklahoma Wesleyan theme. Men's basketball game here. They were up. Oklahoma Wesleyan, I believe, was up by 9 points with under a minute to go, and we came back and won that game somehow. It was really, really crazy atmosphere that night, and that just Oklahoma Wesleyan. It's always been fun with whatever sport it is. It seems like when we play. No. So it just seems like it's always out there.
No.
You don't think so for volleyball?
No. Definitely not.
Not for volleyball?
No. Not at all. I really don't. I don't even want to explain it because, no. It's never usually close games with us and Oklahoma Wesleyan. It's either we win big or they win big. Which,
yeah.
Not to be conceited or anything, but 9 times out of 10, it's we win big.
Yeah. Well, there was a time 2 years ago that we thought we was going to play them in the KCAC semifinals, and we had an injury happen, and the bracket had opened up where we, again, you have to play the match, obviously, but the way it's shaken out, if we had beaten Ottawa, we'd have played Oklahoma Wesleyan in that semifinal match, win there, and you go to the championship match, and that would have all but sold a berth in the NEI tournament. So that kind of, if we're talking about volleyball Oklahoma Wesleyan, that's what kind of stands out to me. But we had an injury happen, we lost Ottawa, and then that ended the season.
Oh, yeah, no, and we would have easily swept Oklahoma Wesleyan in that game, so we would have definitely had a national, just...
Yeah, the bracket, like I said, you have to play the game, but it just appeared like on paper, like if we had survived that game and the bracket opened up for you to play them, we would have had a chance with the NEI tournament.
Well, considering how we were playing against Ottawa before the injury happened... We would have easily, and we should have won against Ottawa. However, we had some refs do some really bad calls, just saying. I don't really like that game. But anyways, we would have easily had the win over Oklahoma Wesleyan. I mean, just like Ottawa literally rolled over. Or not, they didn't roll over, but Oklahoma Wesleyan rolled over to Ottawa and making Ottawa and St. Mary play in the championship, which... really stunk because we definitely had a chance to actually go all the way and we didn't.
Yeah, definitely kind of a missed opportunity there, unfortunately. But hey, injuries are part of the game, part of every sport, so it happens. So, all right. Well, we've talked about everything going on here, but just to give you a quick rundown of everything that's happening, we talked about that earlier in the show. But men's soccer, of course, is Saturday night, Southwestern 7 p.m. kickoff at Stryker Complex. We're also hosting our annual Friends Spring Open here. Be lookout for the details tomorrow. We're going to post the schedules and all that kind of stuff tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. That's coming up Friday and Saturday. And then baseball on the road at Avila. Softball senior day is at noon on Saturday against Sterling, Two Rivers Youth Complex. It'll be fun. Senior day is always fun. So we'll be doing that. And then also in the gym in Garvey Center, we'll be hosting the National JUCO Region 6 tournament here starting tomorrow, and then on Saturday it will be game times noon, 2, and then 6 and 8 p.m. So similar to the times that the NEI tournament have, and we hosted that here as well. So yeah, a lot going on this weekend. Kind of the last crazy weekend we may have. That means it's not going to be busy. It means maybe the last crazy quote unquote weekend we're going to have. But we're gonna get through it. Keep doing things at a high level. It's been a great year for all of that. Can't say enough about what everybody's done here to make everything happen, and we're just going to keep plugging away until the end of the semester, end of the year, and then we'll start fresh and get some things going this summer for the fall. So it'll be fun. All right, we got anything random? No.
The only random thing that I could potentially come up with, and it's just because I have been listening to this certain XM radio station every single day ever since I found out about it. And you're never going to guess what it is.
I probably wouldn't guess it. No.
Just take a wild guess.
On Sirius XM?
On Sirius XM.
Something Disney? No.
It is something Disney.
Yeah, I figured that.
It's literally all Disney music.
Yep.
It's great. And it's literally ranges from the OGs like Snow White, Cinderella, Peter Pan, Mary Poppins, whole 9 yards. From that time period to even now on Disney Channel. With Descendants and Descendants 2 and 3, whole 9 yards. It's amazing. I love it.
That is fun. That
Every
sounds
once
fun.
in a while, we'll go from okay, When You Wish Upon a Star to Camp Rock. We rock on. Sorry, I can't sing.
That does sound like fun, though.
But so I was wondering, what's your favorite Disney song?
Oh, that is.
It's toughie.
That is tough. I would have to think about that for a minute. One song that I definitely like comes off of Camp Rock.
Oh, really?
And it's the last song. I don't even know the name of it. But it's the last. I think it's the last song they sang. No, maybe no.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
The fight in her voice. And
something sing. I don't think that's it. I think that is one of them though. That's on there.
Or is it the This Is Me one?
It goes something like We're Not Done Yet, Not Right Now.
We can't back down.
I think that's
Not
it.
Right now.
Yeah.
We can't back down. I don't.
That sounds like that. Yeah, that sounds similar. I like that song.
remember when that song was. I could
Yeah.
have been in the second one.
It might have been. It seemed like it was toward the end of it, though, the one I watched. I thought it was maybe the second one. I thought it was the first one. Maybe it was the second one.
Idea.
But I know it's on Camp Rock. And it seemed like it was towards the end of the movie. But I like that song. That just comes to mind. I'm not saying it's my favorite. It just, that comes to my mind when I think of Disney songs. Then, I mean, I know there's polarizing opinions about it now, but obviously for good reason. But I like several of the Hannah Montana Disney songs. Some of those are kind of fun. We actually had a CD of that. When the show was actually on Disney, we had a CD of it.
Yeah.
Let's see. But that's definitely up there for me. And goodness, you can't remember the titles of the Disney movie.
It is actually a Disney movie.
Well, there's a ton of songs on there. A lot of them were some of the 70s.
Those aren't like your
They're not
Disney
true
songs.
Disney songs, but they are on a Disney movie.
Songs. They're on a Disney movie, but that's like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like literally with Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that really the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack? Well, yeah, it's labeled as that, but
I like
these
those
other
songs.
people wrote the songs that they just put in the movie.
But the other songs were definitely Disney songs.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the true Disney songs. You know, that like made by Disney.
Yep.
You don't hear it anywhere else but a Disney movie.
Yep.
Like literally ever.
Yep. Those are some that come to my mind. If I really thought about it, I could probably think of more. But, because I've seen a lot of Disney movies, but it's hard to think of a lot of the songs that were on there. But I know I could if I had took some time to think about it. Maybe we revisit this next week or something. I'll build on what I've already said. But those are ones that just popped in my head. But I'm not saying they're my favorite necessarily, but they just popped into my head. I'd have to probably think more to think of my really favorite Disney songs. Well, I'll tell you what. Another movie that popped in my head as that Disney songs is Lion King. Lion King soundtrack is awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
I Just Can't Wait to Be King was one of my favorites off of that. Hakuna Matata, you can't go wrong there. Can You Feel the Love Tonight is awesome. There's several Lion King songs on Lion King that I like too. So see, when I really think about it, stuff just more and more keeps coming to me. And I bet you I can build on it even more next week.
But you want to know one song that like is so super amazing that a lot of people surprisingly forget about? A lot of like the Jungle Book songs, you know, like I Want to Be Like You.
Yeah.
Like that's such an awesome movie, or not movie, but like song in the movie. It's a good movie too. It's not my favorite, but it's a good movie.
Yep.
But like I Want to Be Like You. You have two amazing jazz singers, the voice of Baloo, I forget his name, and then the voice of King Louie, and I forget his name as well. But I know
Baloo's
that
the
they
one
were
that comes to my mind though when you're saying Jungle Book.
Well, and I was like, they're both super amazing jazz singers as well, and you just have these two voices just like bouncing off of each other, and it's just like, oh, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just a fun, and you just kind of sit there and you just kind of bounce or just dance to it, you know. You're just thinking about it. I'm like, hey. Yeah.
Yep.
But and there's a lot of Disney songs that are like that. However, I just think that surprisingly, this is one that I think a lot of people really do kind of forget about until you say it, and then you're like, oh yeah, I know that one, you know. And then it's not like an underappreciated or hated one. No, it's just one that I feel like not very many people think of instantly when they're saying, hey, this is my favorite Disney song.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Well, that was a good random topic.
Well, thank you.
Disney, and for you, it's anything but random, though, right?
Right. I know.
Anything but random. That is pretty cool, though. We have serious, and we have to check out the Disney. What number is it? You remember? No.
It's like 302.
Okay. Well,
on Sirius XM.
Okay, may have to check that out.
Yeah.
We've got the country stations memorized. We've got the sports stations memorized.
Yeah.
But that we might have to check that out. That'd be pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yep.
I enjoy it. I enjoy listening to it. Some of the songs I don't really like, but I mean, that's just because I either don't know them or I'm like, oh, you changed that. Okay, never mind. I don't want to sing it.
Yeah, it's not the same, right?
It's not.
It's not the same.
Whenever, okay, I love Christina Aguilera. Do not get me wrong. Super amazing voice. Such an amazing singer, actress, whole 9 yards, But when she sang in the live action Mulan, her version of Reflection, it's changed from the OG cartoon Reflection, and I don't like it as much. Like, it kind of makes me upset whenever I listen to it. I'm like, I don't like this, so I just turn the station then.
Yeah.
And then go back after, like, a couple minutes.
I hear you. It makes sense.
So you can't hate on the OG Mulan. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, I respect the live-action Mulan. I respect it. But I personally like the original cartoon version of Mulan way better. But again, I like to sing to all the musicals and the Disney songs, and it's just fun. I feel like it's more comedy, or like it has more comedy and it's more comical than the live action one, which I mean makes sense. But I mean, and then you got Mushu in there. You can't hate on Mushu. I'm sorry. Yeah. I feel like you personally can't hate on Mushu.
No,
he's one
you
of my favorite characters of like all time with Disney, and
no hating. Yep.
People have been hating on him because like this is not supposed to be. This is not to the Mulan culture or the actual Mulan legend or story, And I'm like, well, you know what? It's a comical relief for kids. Why are you being so serious about it? Like, this is supposed to be a comical relief for little kids to watch it and to actually enjoy it. And even for parents that don't really understand the heritage or the culture of Mulan, or the actual, like, origin story of Mulan. They don't really understand it quite as well. So this is just like not necessarily laughable, because I don't want to say it's laughable, but it's just a good, relaxing way in a kid version that everybody can understand. It's like when you talk to a little kid, like, don't do that. Like, this is Disney's version of saying this is the story of Mulan. Like, hey, I'm going to talk to you like you're a little kid because, yeah. But, I mean, I still love the live-action one. I've seen it like 5 different times now. I've watched it on Disney Plus on like literally 5 different times. And I enjoy it every single time I watch it. And I enjoy it more and more the more times that I watch it. But still, OG, it's the best.
Yep, no doubt. All right, that's some good randomness today, and I think hopefully people take advantage of that and go to 302 on their Sirius XM, because we break news and we give information.
Yep.
On Talking with Friends. We've done 2 or 3 things of that this episode already. That's just what we do. All right, what do we got for a devotion?
I actually didn't do a devotion today because I've been focused on Mr. Rob's project.
I hope he's listening right now.
I hope he is too. That project stressed me out, man. I hope you're listening.
No worries. No.
And if not, you're going to know in future time. That thing stressed me out a little bit. It was cool, but still stressful. But it's all right. Today's just been a really busy day. I have yet to go home at all today.
I feel you. It's been that way for me too a little bit today, getting ready for everything going on this weekend. So, no.
And like, I understand eventually I'm going to have to get used to a 9-to-5 job, or even 8-to-5 job. I don't know yet. But I'm still a college student that normally on my Thursdays I have at least a lunch break to go home to and like let my dogs out. Thank God Travis didn't like have to work all day, and he could let the dogs out for me, because I feel so bad just leaving him locked up all day. Like, one's 3 or almost 3. He actually turns 3, or no, he's almost 3, or if not 3. Anyways, and then the other one is a year old, and I'm like, oh my gosh. They're like kids. You gotta actually physically take care of them, right? I think you do. Yep. I don't really know. Yep. Do you? Do you actually have to take care of your kids?
Yeah.
I think it's debatable, right?
That's part of the requirement, I think.
I think that's debatable.
That's part of the criteria, I think. But one devotion I've been reading this week is, and we'll just do it really quick, is kind of what we were talking about right now. Actually, this week, last night's title was Handling the Pressures of Leadership, and the verse reference is 2 Corinthians 11:28, and it's Paul saying, I face daily the pressure of my concern for all the churches. So, everybody goes, no matter what our goal is to be in our career, we always start out wanting to be a leader. Whatever it is, whether it's in sports or business or teaching, doctors, or in your case, potentially lawyer, whatever it is, we all want to be at the top if we want to be in a leadership position. So, but there's nothing that really prepares you to be a leader. There's nothing that you have in life except life experience prepares you to be a leader. It comes through on-the-job training. And in Paul's time, he lists the pressures of it with leadership. He was whipped, beaten, stoned, betrayed, shipwrecked. He went through everything that he possibly could being a leader in the New Testament times. And in the post, obviously, when Jesus resurrected and ascended back to heaven, in post that time. And Paul faced a lot of adversity, a lot of challenges. And if you're a leader, we have to be firm in what we believe. And we have to realize that we can't be swayed. It's fine to be flexible. It's fine to listen to different opinions. That's all well and good. I do it, and everybody that's great. But we have to have a certain culture that we have, and a certain belief in what we are doing. And first of all, who we serve, and second of all, just who we're influencing and all that. And leaders are going to get criticized. It's going to happen. A lot of adversity is going to come your way, and it's just something you're going to have to learn to deal with, and learn to manage your time, and learn to manage everything that we do with it. And it's just it can be an awakening, and it can be tough because once we get to that leadership role, then we're like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can handle this or not. But we have to be firm in the culture that we create and our belief system. And we have to be, very, very intentional with everything we do because everybody's eyes is on us now. So we've got to really manage it and make sure that, we're being a good influence on whatever department that we're in and who we're around. It's someone that you hope that they could emulate and, not just be swayed by any belief that's out there or anything. It's any flavor of the month thing that happens. And we see that a lot in society nowadays. But when you're in a leadership role, it's more than what you bargained for. I can attest to it, and I think anyone can. It can be a challenge to hold firm. It can be a challenge with all the responsibility that comes your way and the challenges that come. We've seen it this year here. We've seen it everywhere in society, in the country, in the world. And it can definitely be tough. But we just have to hang on, and that's where our trust in God comes in, is if our faith in God is where it needs to be, then we're going to have His guidance. We're going to lean on Him to get the thing we need to get through. I remember one, I believe it was a pastor that said a few years ago, he said basically 97% of being a good leader is being a good Christian. If you apply those principles to your leadership and to your position, whatever position you're in, then you're going to be successful. So, and I think that's something we all can kind of step back and say, okay, how are we handling things? Are we doing it the way Christ would want us to, the way Jesus would handle it, or are we kind of letting our own self get in the way and try to do things on our own? So that's it. So whatever you're doing, whatever position you have, whatever department you're in, whatever job you have, I know our goal is to be a leader, and you want to work towards that. And if you already are a leader, you want to continue to maintain that status and do your best. But remember, keep God first at the center of everything that you do, and that's going to take care of most of your success. Just keeping God in the heart and the center of everything that we do, and that's kind of how we handle things. So all right, you got anything to add? No.
Honestly, no.
You good? No.
I'm good. Sorry, I'm really tired.
Yeah, you good? No.
It's been a long day.
All right, no. It has that for sure. It has that. No. All right. Well, I do think it is your turn. Is your turn or my turn to pray us out?
I have no idea.
All right, I want to pray us out today then,
Okay.
and then you can be your turn next week, and we'll remember this.
Okay.
So if I'm praying 2 weeks in a
Do
row,
that every week.
and then sometimes we always ask. That's okay though. If one of us has to pray 2 weeks in a row, hey, it's not the worst thing in the world.
That's
So
true.
if I'm praying the second week in a row, we're just going to have to deal with it.
Pretty much.
So, all right, let us pray. Lord, we're thankful for the beautiful day you've given us and for all your blessings that you've bestowed upon us this year. Thank you for helping us navigate and just being right there with us as we walk through uncharted waters. And we feel like with your hand and your blessing, we're starting to reach the home stretch of things here. And we just ask, we're thankful for your sovereignty and for being with us and for your presence. We ask a special blessing upon everybody, our entire student athlete and campus, our coaches, community, everybody here, our administration. Give them wisdom and guidance as we continue to grind through this. We ask that you allow us to continue to work our mission and bringing people closer to you and to use our work to lead people to you. I also ask a special blessing upon Morgan as she continues to go through her senior year. Just continue to bless her and continue to use her for your will and guide and direct her, and just allow people to see you in her and give her a peace that passeth all understanding in whatever that you would have her to do. I also ask a special blessing upon us this weekend as we welcome a lot of people, a lot of visitors to our campus, that they will see you and see our Christian mission and draw closer to you. And I ask you to keep the protective hand upon us always. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, that's going to do it for us. On Thursday, again, Thursday, not Friday, on Thursday. I was corrected early on. It's Thursday. It seems like Friday, but it's Thursday, most definitely. So have a great rest of your evening and a great Friday and a wonderful weekend. And we will talk to you again next week. So we'll talk to you soon.